¿Quieres saber cómo te puedes proteger de la ley SB4 y cuáles son tus derechos como humano bajo la Constitución de Estados Unidos? El abogado Tom Osford tiene información que te ayudará en caso de ser detenido.
SB4 is a statute that the Texas legislature has passed that deals with the sanctuary city issue. Sanctuary cities, for people that aren't familiar with it, are cities that have decided to do no aggressive immigration type enforcement against their citizens. So if you've got a citizen of Beaumont that may not have papers to be in the States, the city of Beaumont may have decided not to do any aggressive enforcement there. That would make them a sanctuary city. Beaumont's not one of those. Austin, Houston, I believe Corpus, several cities in Texas are. And this was a response from the Texas legislature that did not appreciate those cities making those decisions. What the statute does is primarily require law enforcement to inquire about people's status in the country whenever they've been detained. Detention is a very narrow category in many areas of the law. But for the purposes of this statute, detention means any time a police officer stops you. If they've stopped you for a traffic violation, they can ask you about your immigration status. If they've stopped you for jaywalking, they can ask you about your immigration status. And that is the concern that a lot of law enforcement has. They don't want people to be concerned about their status when law enforcement stops them for some other purpose. Under SB4, they can ask you for your immigration status anytime you have been detained. What they cannot do is just go up to you in the street because you look like somebody that they think perhaps should not be here, for whatever reason they think that, and ask you your status. They have to have detained you. But detention is a simple concept that simply means you've been stopped and you're not free to leave right now. If they stop you for jaywalking, they're giving you a ticket for jaywalking, you're detained for that purposes of that ticket. They can ask you that. If they stop you for speeding, for a loose tail light, you're detained. Well, that's an excellent question, because the answer to that is you don't have to provide anything. And that, if there's something that people really need to understand out there in the community right now, is that you still have a right under the United States Constitution to not talk about anything that may incriminate you. You do not have to tell your status. You are required under Texas and federal law to identify who you are and your address, and that's it. You don't have to tell them your status. They can ask you about it, but you don't have to tell them your status. And there was recently an injunction that's been issued by a federal court reconfirming that. You do not have to tell about your status when you're stopped in that situation, and people should not. At that point, what you need to do is tell them that you are invoking your Fifth Amendment right not to talk, or you can simply say, I choose not to say anything right now. You don't have to talk about the Fifth Amendment or anything else. I choose not to talk to you right now. Under SB4, the police were then instructed to go ahead and investigate your status. They were supposed to go ahead and contact immigration, find out what's going on. They can say, well, this guy's not going to tell me who he is. Let me go try to find out why that is. Why isn't he telling me what his status is? The injunction that was recently issued by the federal court keeps the police from doing that. They may not then continue to detain you while they investigate your status. They'll have to let you go. Now, bear in mind, if you are the driver of a vehicle, you do have to provide your driver's license. When you take the road in Texas and turn that car key on, you're agreeing that if you're stopped, you have to provide a driver's license. Obviously, if you don't have status in the country, you're not going to have a driver's license. That's going to be an issue for you. But other than that, you don't have to provide anything to the officer.
Amigos de la comunidad hispana, aquí estamos para servirles en sus preguntas de inmigración. Nuestra oficina Waldman & Smallwood está aquí para servirles. El número 409-727-7711. Comuníquense con nosotros por cualquier pregunta. Gracias.
Muchas gracias al abogado Tom Osford por esta información invaluable. Si te gustó este video, muestra tu apoyo regalándonos un like a la página de Facebook Noticiero Cronos. Gracias por tu atención y recuerda, tú tienes derechos.